Hockenheim, the final weekend of the DTM 2023 season, and a huge crowd gathered for a finale like no other. Right, the penultimate round of the championship. Thomas Preining on pole position, 3 points for that, giving him a 13-point lead in the championship over Mirko Bortolotti, who would have to start from 7th after losing his best lap in qualifying for track limits at this corner, turn 1. And great news for Thomas Preining, a perfect start, because not only did he get the lead of the race, but he also had his teammate Dennis Olsen for company. He got up to second place ahead of the Grello racing team Lamborghini of DTM returnee Christian Engelhardt. Behind then, from Pereira and Jack Aitken fighting for 5th, and right at the back of the field, Josefa Vega after this contact with Sheldon van der Linde, the 2022 champion, clipping the Mercedes and sending the German into a spin. Sheldon van der Linde trying to come from 27th on the grid, the driver 4th in the standings. So the lead battle went through with Jack Aitken having got up to 4th place. Ricardo, the other driver with a chance of winning the championship, had a pretty good start as well in the blue Abt Audi. He was battling away with Jack Aitken for 4th place. Fella had a go round at the hairpin, got alongside, couldn't get ahead. He had another go on the run to turn 7, almost onto the grass on the way into the right-hander at over 200 kilometres an hour. But the Emil Frey Racing Ferrari of Jack Aitken, a race winner this season at the Nürburgring, just about fended off Ricardo Fella. Then with Kelvin van der Linde, his Abt teammate, just behind in 6th place. Fella needed to outscore Preining by 6 points to stay in the championship fight going into the last round of the season. But a good pit stop from Mirko Bortolotti and SSR Performance put the Italian ahead of the Aitken-Fella battle during the pit window. However, they were all over him on cold tyres. Bortolotti side by side with Aitken, looking back then at Ricardo Fella, who was very much in the battle as well. 3 abreast, some contact, and then all over the curbs for Jack Aitken in the Ferraris. He launched it at the inside and went ahead of Mirko Bortolotti. Fella taking advantage, pounced as well on the way into the stud curve, and suddenly the Italian was down 2 places and behind one of his championship rivals. Bortolotti not happy on the radio, asking for the officials to give the position back, but it never happened. Another then Lamborghini was involved in the next battle as they caught up to Frank Pereira, and Jack Aitken was trying to get through, squeezed past onto turn 4, ran wide though, and this was where Ricardo Fella would pounce, dive down the inside on the way into the Parabolica, and he got through ahead of Aitken and into a net 4th place. Kelvin van der Linde was next to try and pounce, trying to help his team Abt Sportsline to the team's championship for the 6th time in their 23 years in the DTM. But Manthey were 1st and 2nd and on course for that team's title with a round to spare, and at the moment Thomas Preining was on course for the championship. With a 29-point advantage as it stood, Bortolotti would need to get 1 more place to take the fight to Sunday. Only 28 points available on the last day of the season, so he needed this move on Kelvin van der Linde. He tried again. He came back at him a 2nd time, and then there was contact on the way out of the hairpin, and a gap opened up, and Mirko Bortolotti knew he had to go for it. He had to get the position to stay in the championship fight. Van der Linde way out wide, trying to fend him off as they came into the Sachs curve. Gave him a tap on the way into the left-hander, but the Italian was through, and this meant that just about he would stay in contention for the title. 28 points behind Preining, 28 points available. But he wasn't done yet. Quickly caught up to Jack Aitken with just over 5 minutes left on the clock, and the Italian was in no mood to give any quarter. He went side by side on the way into turn 7 with the Ferrari of Jack Aitken. He got the inside line then for the left-hander at Mercedes. He fired it through and just about crept through, struggling to get the car out of the corner though, and then Jack Aitken coming back at him. The Ferrari nosing ahead, but the Lamborghini with a better line through the next turn, and eventually Mirko Bortolotti will be able to get past and move himself into 5th position. 27 points behind Thomas Preining, with 28 available on Sunday. Still a tall order, but still just about in the fight. Thomas Preining, though, was about to celebrate his 2nd win of the season to take victory in round 15 of DTM 2023. And a 1-2 finish for Manthey Racing on their return to the championship for the first time in more than 20 years means that they are the provisional teams champions, and Porsche are the provisional brand champions as well. A great 3rd place as well for the Grello racing team Lamborghini of Christian Engelhardt. So it all goes down to the final day of the season in the DTM.